Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, and this is part two, and we're going to start off by kind of text the path in these shapes and how to do it. I've already typed out all the words I need. Then I'm going to go Control K and I'm going to break them apart, and then Control K again to break these three words apart. So I've got far and sure. So what we need to do is kind of make them the size. Let's put these out of the way down at the bottom. I kind of need to make them all the same size, and I kind of need to make them fit in those spots. So with them all selected, I can, shrink them. And I'm going to say a little bit more, but not much. I'm going to make these actually a little bit bigger than I did the other ones. But see, I'm shrinking them all at the same time, so they're going to be the same font, and the "and" is going to be too big for that little space, so I'm going to break it down a little bit more. Now, a couple ways you could do it. Probably the easiest is take the 3-point curve line and go from about there to there, and then hold down the control button and kind of get a perfect curve. Okay, now if you remember, these are the same on both sides. Now we need to take our shape tool, and it's going in the right direction. You need to make sure that arrow. So we're going to do the sure first. We're going to grab the sure, go up to text the path, and put it on the shore. Then we're going to go to object. Well, what we have to do is kind of select it all, go to object and break the text apart, and then grab the text. And because I nudged, I can nudge right back. That's pretty close. You can still play around with it and take more of your time because it's still on that path. You could maybe rotate a little bit. Maybe I didn't do the best job of doing it. So on this one, we're going to need to mirror it. But what happened when I mirrored it? I changed the direction. So select them both, right click, and reverse the subpath. Now I can take the far, text the path, and put it right on that path, right in the center. Select it all, go to object, break text apart, and nudge it over. Whoop. Well, I didn't do it right, so we're just going to place it in there because I didn't nudge it at 4 inches. Or I did 4, but I put it right back. Now the "and", it's pretty much just a straightforward "and". It's actually going to have to be a little bit smaller. And I don't really think there's any text to path, so there's pretty good. Now, in the other words, there's really there's no circle because this is a lot tighter than that is. So what I want to do on this top word, I'm just going to give my friend the 3-point line. I'm going to go a little bit past both of them. And then while holding down the control button, you get a perfect arc. And then let's nudge it over. Let's check it with our tool, and it's going in the right direction. Now, here's the deal with the font. The original font is a pretty cool font, but I've seen that before, but I can't think of the name of it, and I don't think I have it. So now we're just going to go text the path and put it right on our path. Wait till we get that line on either end. We're not long enough. So what we're going to have to do is shorten our text a little bit. Go up to text, fit text to path. We should get a red line in the center, meaning we're so perfect it's going to be on the end. Now grab it all, object, break text apart, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to nudge it a bunch. But what you can do is put this text right on top of your other text and get it close, and then take your old text and really you're going to have to take your new text and nudge it up, and then take all this text and group it, and then you can nudge this back. Now, if you're doing it for real, you'd want to pay a little bit more attention than I am. Now, same thing on the golf club. Our friend, the 3-point curve line. I'm going to go a little bit past it, hold down the control button and get a perfect arch. Let's go ahead and nudge it down. That's a long way, but now that's definitely not going to fit. So we're going to reduce this. And you can always change it when after you've got it on there. I'll actually use that for an example. And it's kind of teeter-tottering on being right. But you can always, while you're still got it there, you can always change this and rotate it around that a little bit. Now, it's still a font, so we could actually spread it out a little bit, because a font on a downhill curve is a little particular. Then just put it back. You don't want it particular because they're leaning into each other. Go up to Object, Break Apart, and I think I nudged, so we can nudge right back. Now I'm quite a bit, well, I didn't nudge very good. I'm quite a bit smaller than the original, so we could actually expand that out and it should work. And then I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. You know, if I was doing it for a real logo, and I'd take more time and just put it up in there where it looks good. Same thing on the 1908. Just delete that, make that. I'd make it probably the same point. That's 18.83. 18.83. And then just stick it up between the golf clubs. That's pretty good. It's pretty close. If I was the customer, I'd be happy. You know, I might change these scrolls, you know, a little bit. Left click, right click, and get the smoothing tool. Well, not the smoothing tool, just the shape tool. And just play around with these. See, I've actually got two sets of lines. So we're going to grab that one and just delete it. Trying to grab that little line. Well, that was part of the other. That was part of that. And remember, I had those different colors. So let's just tell you what, let's do this. Let's take this and delete all these interior colors. And just because we're going to use the Smart Fill tool, we can delete that outside. It doesn't really matter if there's two sets of lines there. But now we should just have one in the center. So I'm going to take the shape tool and just kind of make it look more like a scroll. Anyway, and then we take a Smart Fill tool and fill it in. Now you need to do, you know, do all that before you flip it around and do that. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.